Hey everybody, this is James the Weatherman. Today is going to be a little information about the 2020 Easter tornado outbreak. If you enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get right into it. So some of the things I'm going to be talking about, there was a lot of 100 plus tornadoes on Easter and on the day after Easter. So I'm not going to talk about all the tornadoes, but I do have them most of them in this presentation. A series of destructive tornadoes affected the southeastern United States on Easter Sunday and Monday, April 12th through 13th. Several were responsible for prompting tornado emergencies, including the first one to be issued by the National Weather Service in Charleston, South Carolina. A large squall line formed and tracked through the mid-Atlantic on April 13th, prompting multiple tornado warnings and watches. 15 total watches were produced during the course of the event, 2 of which were designated particularly dangerous situation, with 35 tornadic fatalities reported. It tied with April 27th through 30th, 2014 as the deadliest outbreak since March 2nd through the 3rd, 2012, when 41 people were killed. The first indication of the organized severe weather came on April 8th, when the Storm Prediction Center outlined 15% probability for severe weather within 25 miles of a point from central Texas eastward into the Florida Panhandle and eastern Georgia, valid for April 11th through 12th. These threat areas were later refined with the introduction of the Day 3 moderate risk, the fourth of 5 threat levels, across northeastern Louisiana through central Alabama on April 10th. Historically, the SPC issues one day 3 moderate risk every year, and half of those over the previous decade were later upgraded to high risk, the highest threat level. Our subsequent days, a significant mid-level shortwave trough progressed eastward across the United States by the pre-dawn hours of April 12th. Mid-level cooling associated with the feature overspread the Edwards Plateau, Hills County, and much of central Texas. After conducting damage surveys, meteorologists identified 2 intense tornadoes, with the first supercell, one that killed 3 people, northwest of Salem to southwest of Bassfield, and second from south of Bassfield to southwest of Pucuta, both of EF4 intensity. An EF3 tornado was identified with the second supercell. Sorry if I got that city pronounced wrong. So confirmed tornadoes by EF ratings. There was 1 EFU that's undetermined. There's 23 EF0s, 53 EF1s, 20 EF2s, 9 EF3s, 2 EF4s, and 0 EF5s. Total is 108 plus tornadoes. So some of these tornadoes, as you see on the EF scale on the left, is rating EF from the EF0 to EF4 range. I'm not going to read every one, but I will leave it on the screen. I'll read a few of them. EF1, northwest of Melvin, Texas. A tornado snapped or uprooted multiple oak trees and killed 1 calf. We move down the line a little bit. An EF1 southeast of Timpson, Shelby, Texas. A brief tornado snapped or uprooted 50 trees. So why am I not reading all of them? Because there's so many, and I would be talking for hours. And I'm trying to make this a short video. EF2, north of Grand Canyon to south-southeast of Stonewall in Louisiana, 2 single-wide manufactured homes were destroyed. 2 homes were partially uprooted, and a third home sustained damage to its carport. Shingle damage was dealt to additional homes, and several trees were uprooted. 2 people were injured. As you see, there was quite a few tornadoes in Louisiana. On the top you see 125. That's how wide the tornado was. And then the 44 miles is how far it gone. So due to it being an EF3, I will read the EF3. It's in Monroe, Louisiana. An EF3 tornado began in Brownsville, Baucom community, damaging hundreds of trees, many of which fell onto homes. Several single-wide manufactured homes were damaged, and a trailer was tipped over. At a paper mill, metal trusses were broken, and a wood chip conveyor belt was downed onto a train. Tornado emergency was issued following a real-time confirmation of a large tornado just west of Monroe. The tornado missed downtown Monroe by about a mile, but nonetheless inflicted roof damage to many homes. A metal building structure was damaged while wooden power line and steel streetlights assembled were snapped. Most intensive damage was associated with the mesovortex that ripped the roofs off 3 homes, including homes with most of its exterior walls collapsed. A metal hangar at Monroe Regional Airport was demolished before the tornado lifted, including the 2 subsequent tornadoes in Ouachita Parish. 458 homes were impacted, including 23 that were destroyed, and 108 that had major damage. So we have a few of these storms that were brief. The one in Yazoo City lasted 7 miles. Several power lines and trees were snapped. An outbuilding and poorly anchored home was destroyed. That's one at the bottom. We have the east-northeast of Oak Ridge to north-northwest of Epps. Multiple homes sustained minor injuries and mobile home was knocked over. Several power poles and numerous trees were snapped. Here's the first EF4, northwest of Salem to southwest of Bassfield in Mississippi. 3 deaths. A large tornado touched down in Walthall County and quickly intensified. Northwest of Darburn, 2 frame homes were completely leveled, one of which was removed off its foundation. A large hardwood tree was uprooted and lofted several feet in this area. 1 home was properly constructed, while the others lacked proper anchor bolts. Based on the engineers and forensic surveys, concluded the damage was EF4 intensity. Continuing northeast, the tornado rolled a mobile home and tore the roof off a brick home. 1 fatality and 1 serious injury occurred in the county. Crossing into Lawrence County, it caused extensive tree damage, with numerous hardwood and softwood trees snapped or uprooted. Near Tynes Ainsworth Road, a mobile home was completely destroyed. Both occupants died. Extensive damage to trees continued across Marin and Jefferson Davis counties, and the tornado ultimately dissipated to the southwest of Bassfield. The next one is south-southeast of Bassfield to north-northeast of Pacuda. I think this is the one that was 2 miles wide. It is at least 2 miles wide. 7 deaths, large violent tornado reaching a maximum width of at least 2 miles. Caused major damage. It was the widest tornado on record in Mississippi. Injuries were reported. 3 of the deaths occurred east of Bassfield and another occurred near Soso. So some big tornadoes. EF3 south-southeast of Monticello to northwest of Enterprise in Mississippi. Tornado confirmed by radar debris signature. Injuries were reported. Like I said, there is a lot of tornadoes that happened. And some of these tornadoes it started out in EF4 or it started out in EF0 and then went all the way up to an EF4 and then went to EF2. They were very long track tornadoes. East-southeast of Ridgerville to northeast of Keener in Alabama. Tornado touched down on the north side of Atolla and caused extensive tree damage as it moved northeast along Highway 11. Many homes suffered damage from fallen trees. The tornado intensified and widened as it moved to the Reese City. Numerous power poles were snapped and a wide swath of snapped or uprooted hardwood trees was observed. It reached a maximum width as it crossed Highway 211 with damage extending to Interstate 59. Northwest of Somerville to southeast of Lafayette in Georgia. 10,000-pound camper was overturned. Shingles and siding were pulled off homes. Trailer was destroyed. A corner of a barn's exterior wall was heavily damaged, and numerous large trees were snapped or uprooted. Towards the end of the tornado path, it ripped the roof and the entire second story off a house, causing severe damage to its exterior wall. A Jeep was tossed more than 150 yards. Another nearby home had its garage collapsed and a large portion of its roof removed. Northwest of Chatsworth to south-southwest of Cisco in Georgia, 7 deaths. A large, strong tornado snapped or uprooted numerous trees and inflicted roof or siding damage to many homes. Over 8 double-wide manufactured homes were demolished. At its strongest, the tornado crumpled a recently built cell tower and demolished a small single-family home, save for a few interior walls. 4 large chicken houses were impacted, of which one was destroyed and 2 more suffered severe damage. Debris was tossed several hundred yards away. There was a lot of tornadoes. When I was looking through these, there was a lot of them. So EF3 northeast of Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia to northeast of Ottawa, Tennessee. 3 deaths. A tornado touched down near Georgia-Tennessee state border to southeast of Chattanooga. Traveled northeast. Extensive damage occurred in the Harris Hills neighborhood, where an auto parts store was leveled and several structures had severe roof damage. Widespread damage continued into Drake Forest neighborhood. Ottawa and Intrica Hills Preservoir apartments where many homes sustained roof damage. The tornado ultimately dissipated in southwestern Bradley County. At least 150 structures were damaged or destroyed. 3 people were killed and 19 people were injured. So that was on Easter. This is confirmed tornadoes Monday, April 13th. We had the EF3 south of Thompson to northwest of Redbone. Tornado touched down just south of Thompson and traveled northeast. It steadily intensified and grew in diameter as it approaches Tri-Cemetery Road. There, the mobile home was rolled and rotated 90 degrees. Farther northeast, one home had majority of its roof torn off, and nearly all trees within 220 yards were snapped. National Weather Service radar detected debris lofted up 25,000 feet at this time. A total of 159 structures were affected by the tornado. 7 were destroyed, 20 had major damage, and 38 had minor damage. Another EF3 south-southeast of Westminster, to west of Central. One death, high-end EF3 tornado severely damaged multiple structures. The tornado passed through the southern part of Seneca, severely damaging a BorgWarner manufacturer plant and leveling multiple homes. Extensive tree damage along the path resulted in widespread power outages and limited travel. The city of Seneca declared a curfew in the wake of the storm. Clemson University suspended online classes to accommodate local recovery efforts. 1 person was killed and 2 others remain missing. There was in South Carolina, northwest of Savannah River site to northeast of Springfield. And then east-northeast of Elko to west-southwest of St. Matthews in South Carolina. So as you see, there was a lot of tornadoes. See west-northwest of Scotia to north-northeast of Fetchtig. 5 deaths. A multi-vortex tornado damaged or destroyed many residents in the hardest hit areas. 6 homes were destroyed, resulting in 5 fatalities. 60 people were injured. So these are the bigger, the EF4 tornadoes. Over the course of Sunday afternoon, 2 intense tornadic supercells developed, producing at least 3 tornadoes over southern Mississippi. After an EF tornado lifted far southwest of Bassfield, another intensified. As it approached the town and a tornado warning was issued, first of many across the area, here major damage was reported, as an intense velocity couplet developed on radar and debris was shown to be lofted 20,000 feet high, with a photo being carried 121 miles downstream in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This is one near Soso. The SBC issued a mesoscale discussion stating that the tornado was with winds of 170 to 205 miles per hour was likely ongoing. That was an exceptional rare event. The tornado had maximum width of at least 2 miles, a path length of 68 miles, and received preliminary report of EF4 with winds of 170 miles per hour from a small section of its track. This is in that same area. These are the 2 EF4 tornadoes. So just to get an idea, these are all the tornado reports. So if you would like to look more into it, you can look up on the internet and Wikipedia the Easter tornado outbreak. Other notable tornadoes, as a line of storm progressed east, another significant tornado affected Chattanooga, Tennessee, prompting yet another tornado emergency. Tornado killed 2 people, including 1 man who died when a tree fell onto his home. Numerous other people were treated for injuries at a local hospital. It has been rated EF3 intensity. A pre-dawn tornado in Murray County, Georgia, killed 7 people and injured at least 23 others as it hit a number of mobile homes. A man from Cartersville, Georgia, was also killed when a tree fell through his home. Numerous deadly tornadoes tracked across South Carolina, including 1 death associated with the EF3 tornado. In Seneca, 1 death in Colton County, 5 deaths in Hampton County, 3 of which were in Nicksville, and 2 deaths associated with the EF3 tornado in Livingston. A home near Cantwell Mill, Mississippi, northeast of Bassfield, that was swept off its foundation by the tornado. That is the presentation of the 2020 Easter tornado outbreak. I know some of the towns I got mixed up, and some of them are hard to say for anybody. Definitely if you don't live down in that area. But hopefully everything gets taken care of with their family and housing situation. And one of my videos, I talked to one of the survivors. I showed you guys pictures on that one video. But if you enjoyed this brief video, make sure you hit that like button, and I will see you in the next live stream.